Alright, welcome back everyone to another episode of Adventurers Anonymous. We picked up a couple weeks ago with our players scattering out to various towns across the kingdom to try to investigate what's going on. Reports of angry citizens, angry towns had sparked up, and our players had dispatched themselves to investigate. Scratch and Augie going east towards the fishing village. Rain trying to catch up with Yurei, almost due south. And Lachlan and Kyrius going west, one of the villages closer to where our band had entered from. Halstrom and Brutus had stayed back to continue to raid the library, which totally won't end badly. All kinds of... Ooh. Sorry, I almost punched myself in the face there. Do not recommend that. If anyone is surprised by my feats of athleticism at this point, namely almost punching myself in the face, stop it. You should know.
I managed to throw my back out by sitting down, so you're in good company.
See, there we go. I fall over standing up. So, yeah.
They are beauty, they are grace, they are a danger to their face.
Quiet you! You're off in the library with the dog.
Woof.
I tripped over the vacuum today.
Oh.
Whilst you were using it?
With the dog in your hands? Are you both okay, but also is he okay?
I protect him.
Okay, good. Are you okay?
I think so.
Okay. Let's see. You know what? I was gonna pick on Kyrius and Lachlan tonight, but I'm gonna let a dice decide who I'm picking on first.
Oh no.
Fuck, where'd it go? Oh no! Oh, there it is.
Oops.
Hey, would you look at that? It's Lachlan and Kyrius.
Oh my.
That's so mean.
So
we established this.
We rested for a time, basically waiting for the allotted time when we said that everyone should gather in the town square.
Mm-hmm.
And whilst we were doing that, I was preparing the spell that would help in this particular situation.
Okay.
Which I believe was the Dispel Magic. If I remember correctly. Yes. Dispel Magic.
Alright, so you guys have been passing the time in this forest. It has been quiet. Almost eerily quiet. As you guys settled down to take this rest, even the forest spirits didn't seem particularly active like they had before. And it seems there's a strange, as your rest goes on. And how long were you resting for?
It has to be a long rest, so it would be 8 hours.
Roll perception for me.
Both of us?
I mean, if Kyrius is here, yes. Okay.
I'm calling it. That's my only nat 20 of the night.
But Lachlan, about 2 hours into your rest, and Kyrius, and we'll just say that Kyrius has kind of dozed off a little bit. You would have noticed that the forest is silent, much like it was when you had first entered and you notice that you are being watched by a shadowy figure. You're able to pick it out almost immediately because the forest, despite being underground, is surprisingly well lit. You've noticed that these trees have a very faint bioluminescence to them.
I'm going to say, and I'm gonna like nudge Kyrius a little bit, just surreptitiously trying to get him to not be dozing, and I'm going to say, "My friend, come forth. Share, I made tea."
The shadow figure in the distance approaches very slowly, and you both start to feel a chill creeping towards you. The figure says nothing, and it approaches, and it gets about till it's about 20 feet away from you, and it's this inky black figure. There's no discernible features, no face, no clothes of any kind. You can tell it's intending to be bipedal, you think, but it just appears to be a shadow that stood up.
I'm going to maintain my friendly demeanor and say, "My, you seem very cold. Would you like a blanket or what are you doing in these forests?"
The figure slowly cocks its head, and both of you hear a voice in your head. And as this voice reaches into your mind, the chill is amplified, and it speaks in a low whisper. Cease your meddling. Wish.
Is this the same chill that I encountered when Opal was first infected?
Roll history. This is a very similar chill. It's not exactly the same, but it's very similar. It has the same quality to it, but this is stronger.
Stronger.
It's much colder, much more. It just the little bit that you both have been able to feel. It's kind of on the edges. If you have like a foot sticking out, you feel it all the way to the bones on your foot, but it doesn't seem to creep any further.
Okay. I say, whatever your intentions, there's no reason that okay, to catch you up, Kyrius, we're in the forest. It's really quiet, and suddenly a very shadowy figure has approached. I tried to be friendly to it. It's not friendly. It hasn't attacked us yet, though.
It hasn't showed you any outward hostility. It has made no move to attack. It has made no aggressive movements towards you. It has just warned you to stop what you're doing.
What is it that we're meddling in?
You are meddling in the matters of the Master. He will not show you mercy if you continue.
Excellent. So you're not the big bad. I suggest that you find some skulky little cave to settle down in where you'll blend in nicely, else you join my hunt.
The creature just kind of cocks its head again. You do not scare me, wizard. Your power is nothing compared to the Master.
I've been like kicking Kyrius's boot, trying to get him to wake up.
I would have subtly moved into a position where I still look relaxed, but could grab my swords very quickly if need be.
Yeah, absolutely. This creature has showed it doesn't seem to have weapons. It is really magical, but it hasn't shown any sign of attack, so you could absolutely do that and it wouldn't even respond. It's more focused on Lachlan than you.
I mean, Kyrios isn't much of a talker, so he would have just let Lachlan. He would just let Lachlan lead here and kind of just be ready if anything kind of goes sideways.
Okay.
I would assume. Can I carry my 25 perception over to notice that Kyrios is alert now?
Well, not anymore. Now you have to roll again. Okay, yeah. You pretty obviously notice. You can kind of feel Kyrios shifting. You can feel his legs moving, and you're pretty easily able to figure out that he's awake and he's alert, and he's just basically waiting for a signal and or something to happen.
I say to the shadow, I may not scare you, but your master has no power compared to the weight of nature.
The figure just kind of cocks its head to the other side. Kind of think like the Michael Myers head tilt. For anybody that's a horror movie buff out there, you know what I'm talking about. And it just kind of... Is death no longer part of nature? Are you so powerful as to command the very finality of nature itself?
I mean, I got friends. Kyrios, you would note that, like, around me is, like the gentle sound of panpipes floating on the wind.
The master commands death. The master...
He likes to think so, doesn't he?
No, you do not understand, wizard. I come as an emissary to cease your faulty campaigns.
Oh, wait, are you from Zypher?
No, I am from the Great Master.
Oh, right,
Full
yeah, cool. That's
pretender
fine.
on the throne will be disposed of. I come from a strange portion of the Great Master. One that has granted you sympathy in its attempts to sway you away from this folly errand you're on. Turn back. Cease what you're doing, lest the master kill you all.
I'll have to think about that one, but don't call us. We'll call you.
It turns its head to look at you, Kyrios. And it kind of straightens up a little bit as it's looking at you, and it takes another step forward in your direction. You speak with the life of the forest. If you value this place, you will leave. The master will not take kindly to interference.
Kyrios just stares back.
The figure, it's looking at you both. And you both kind of, as you're watching, you start to notice it's taking on a little bit more form and definition. The longer you're engaging with it, you're starting to see that it's taking on physical features. It's starting to come into more of a defined humanoid shape. You can start to pick out the shape of defined fingers, and it's starting to form ears and a nose. And you're starting to see eye sockets forming, and a mouth is beginning to form.
Does it look familiar at all?
Roll perception. As you're studying it, Kyrios, it feels very familiar as you're watching these features take form, but you can't quite figure out why. But it looks really familiar.
With that roll though, can I tell, like, does it look human, elvish features?
It definitely looks elvish. And you would be confident in putting money down saying it's drow. But it doesn't look like any of the people you've interacted with, anyone that you've met. but it really looks familiar, and you can't figure out why.
Have we met before?
I do not know. I have never met you. My master has seen you all before. But the magic I was created from does not recognize you. And it looks back at Lachlan. You are more familiar.
Just because you are inhabiting the body of my patient doesn't mean I am not prepared to kill you.
And it just kind of cocks its head. I am unkillable. My master has seen to that.
Does this thing look like Opal?
No, not really. It's got features. It's kind of got pointed ears. It's starting to develop more pronounced facial features, but to say that it looks like Opal is not. No, it looks like a generic drow figure, but if you both you squint, cock your head, and kind of close one eye, you can pick out some Calzala features.
I don't think Kyria's ever met Opal.
Nope. Kyrias has never met Opal, but Kyrias has met Zypher and Rylan. And so to Lachlan, it would look more like Opal. To Kyrias, it would probably look more like Zypher or Rylan.
When he said he was unkillable, Kyrias would have smirked a little bit.
Okay.
I say, mercy from one such as your master cannot be trusted.
Then you have chosen death. You have chosen destruction. And with that, it just kind of melts into a puddle and seeps back into the ground.
Well, that's not a good sign.
Are any of the sprites around from before? Do I see any of them?
Nope. They are nowhere to be found. And as you two are looking around, you notice that its footprints, where it was standing and where it had essentially puddled, are dead. The moss is dead, the mushrooms are dead, everything around it is dead.
We should report this in.
I agree. I wonder if any of the others have had similar encounters in their travel.
I'm going to send off a sending. You said it was 2 hours in, so we still have another 6 hours of rest, right?
Well, you guys were talking to this thing for a while, so you'd probably have closer to 5 or 4.
Okay.
There were pauses between what it was saying. It's not just, sitting here having a casual conversation. It's magic, Magic is weird.
Spoopy oopy bullshit. Yeah, got it. They must commune with my master so that I know what to say. I'm going to kind of start writing on a piece of paper, and as I write, the words will kind of fly off the page in little musical notes as I cast Sending at level 4.
Okay.
Okay, so my sending is to Scratch. The apprentice is using doubles of some sort. I'm going to get rid of the "the" in that sentence. 6. Had a run in with 1. 6. That's 12 now. Nice guy. You would like him. Healing village after rest. That brings me up to 22. See you soon.
Okay. Scratch. You get
Yes.
this message. You and Augie at this point are just about to the fishing village when you get this second sending from Lachlan.
Oh, it's in my head again.
Mr. Scratch, you need to listen.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Huh? Uh-huh. Oh. It says that, the apprentice is using doubles of some sort. They had a run-in with one of them. It says the guy is really nice and that I would like him.
Is that so?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Does tone convey with sending?
I don't think so. I think it just comes across as a message.
You hear the
double check.
person's voice in your head, I think.
Okay, let me double check. But I don't remember. Here's the message in its mind. Okay, yes, then tone would be conveyed.
Nice guy. You would like him.
I mean, that's, yeah, it's still.
Yeah?
They're gonna heal the village after they rest. Oh, and they'll see you soon.
Well, that is. They're alive and they found out some things, so that's pretty good.
True.
I mean, it seems like this apprentice can use these body doubles to just travel wherever they want to go, trying to scare the shit out of us, or
It could be
Well,
clones.
could be phylacteries
True. There are
if
some
he is a
very-
high mage.
very weird and ancient magic that has to do with phylacteries and clones and weird jars, and I don't know all the details though.
You require jars.
Yeah, because the clones have to grow in something, right?
I mean, I guess.
So, I mean, you got jars.
Is he full of shit?
No, it's some kind of alchemical stuff that's in the jars.
I hate you.
All right, well,
Mr. Scratch, do not take advantage of me.
Scratch is just kind of confused right now because he really wasn't making a joke.
Should I tell him what we found here? Have we found anything worth telling yet?
Are we still with the talking horses?
I mean, have you released the talking horses?
I don't remember what happened.
Absolutely not. We have them.
Okay.
How
They
dare
were
you
your-
insinuate that I would abandon a creature like that?
And they were your esteemed mounts, so I don't think you guys would have just ditched them.
Right. Esteemed.
Talking horses say hello. No combat if you can avoid it. Don't piss off the village. if you can avoid it. 21. And I got 4 words left.
You pooping?
They're
Talking horses are awesome.
a little unsettling.
I don't know. Seemed great to me.
Um,
Don't drink the water.
yes, don't drink the water. We're going with don't drink the water. There you go.
Give no context. Yeah, that's not more unsettling.
I say, okay.
What did he say?
What is
We're not supposed to get into combat. We may have already done one of the things he told us not to do. It depends how the village feels about our pamphlets. And don't drink the water. Have you drunk any water?
Only what was on me already when we left.
Excellent. I haven't drunk water in 3 years.
Oh my.
There's a conversation.
Only coffee, soft drink, and juice.
I mean,
It's just so
coffee
much.
is water.
And you claim to be a doctor.
I claim to help other people.
Coffee is just hot bean water.
Exactly.
Dirty.
And tea. I drink tea as well.
Which is hot leaf water.
And they're both diuretics and they both dehydrate you.
Yes.
Ah, pish posh.
He didn't say anything
Well-
back, so they must have taken it as gospel.
Well, that's good.
I'd say, listen, you keep getting some sleep. I'll take you take second watch. Hopefully we don't get any more of the spooky guy coming around.
Sounds good.
Okay, so you guys just gonna pass the time? Are you just gonna pass the time until you go to the village, or?
Yeah. I mean, we don't really have anything to do in the forest unless the sprites come back.
I mean, the forest sounds come back, so the sprites come back, and they just kind of. Lachlan, you notice that they just kind of collect around and on top of Kyrius.
I would try and entertain them with some druidcraft and prestidigitation tricks.
They don't. Okay, actually, roll me perception real quick. You notice that they don't seem entertained by your tricks, and you notice that they are constantly watching you, almost like they're defending Kyrius from you.
Would I have any religious insight as to why?
I don't think so. They're not really any sort of deific figure.
My religion is nature.
Right, but specifically looking at the religious aspect of it, there wouldn't be any. They're not they're technically divine, but they're not any sort of worshipped figure. So you really wouldn't have much religious context for what they're doing. If
What
you
about
wanted-
natural context?
You can make a nature check.
Same modifier.
You
Wow.
Yeah, they just you don't have a specific behavior outside of they don't seem to like you very much. And they like Kyrius, and so it seems like they are protecting Kyrius if you try to do something.
I think I'm smart enough to figure out that it's probably because I have an ethereal force and a mad god bound to me. The probably why they don't like me.
I mean, that's a religion check if you want to make one to try to figure it out. Otherwise, you can roll with that assumption. Yep, it is absolutely because of the mad god. 100%, Lachlan. You have never been more convinced of anything else in your life other than you are a messenger of Pan, and these things don't like Pan.
I mean, that's fair. Does anything else happen on my watch?
Nope. These things they just kind of keep mean mugging you the whole time.
I do have a spell slot that I can use to cast tongues and ask them, dudes, what's up? But that's okay. I'm just going to pass my watch over to Kyrius.
Okay. Kyrius, are you awake or are you sleeping or dozing or whatever?
I was asleep until it was my turn. I assumed Lachlan would wake me up when it was my turn to take over watch.
I'd nudge you and pass you a cup of coffee.
Kyrius, as you wake up, you are covered in forest sprites.
Oh, hello, as I sit up.
They all just kind of shift position to maintain staying on top of you and to not fall off. And you notice that they're all watching Lachlan.
They don't seem to like me much.
What did you do?
Enriched their forest, gave you the ability to talk to them for an hour. My best guess is it's probably something to do with the mad god bound to me, but
Could, maybe. I'm still like sitting in a way that if they're still on me, I'm making sure like not to like roll over or sit on any of them as I talk to Lachlan.
Oh, as you move around, they're going to move to where you don't wind up laying on them. But they are definitely, you have like one on your head that has just like, it's maintaining like a sentry position.
It could be that they just sense whatever the Fae did to me a few weeks ago and see me as one of them, maybe?
it's possible. Would you like to have their company whilst you are on watch? I can let you speak to them.
It only lasts an hour, right?
Yeah.
I mean, sure, you're gonna be able to cast that spell again once you wake up anyway, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Then sure.
Okay.
And I'm going to go down for the night.
I'm sorry, God has the hiccups.
So that's why there's no dinosaurs.
Absolutely. I mean, everybody knows earthquakes are from God's hiccups.
Rocks fall, we all die.
I mean, we are underground. The DC is 32.
Don't die.
Okay, I crit failed, but I take half damage anyway. Because rogue.
He'd probably still make 32.
Yep.
Okay,
Nah, the highest I can roll is 30 on a dex save.
I think I'm good for the moment.
Only 30.
I could flash some genius.
Look, my real strength comes in my sleight of hand with the lowest I can roll being a 29.
You're basically a superhuman.
Mm-hmm.
Or super hero. I don't know if you're human.
That's Malagos.
Exactly.
So I guess now I can talk to them. So
So
hi.
as soon as that spell is cast, you hear the chittering of these little creatures that you hadn't quite been able to hear before, just because it was very quiet, and you hear them talking about the thief stealing the bounty, and then just defending, protecting forest friend.
Whoops.
I took mushrooms.
I mean, and this is RJ. They told you that you could though, so I don't see why they would be mad at you for that. Hi, I say.
About a dozen pairs of eyes just shift over to you, and the slightly disconcerting thing about this is you never see their bodies move, you only see their eyes move.
Yeah, Ghibli Sitbull style.
Those at least, like you could tell their little bodies were moving. These little bodies don't move. There's just eyes on one side, and then there's eyes on the other side.
I don't know if you're familiar with the way this magic works, but as my friend is about to go to sleep, he's cast a spell on me that allows me to talk to you, but only for a short period of time, not for the entire rest of the time we'll be in the forest. So if there's anything you'd like to say to me or talk to me about, now is the time to do so.
Beware the man made of dark ice. He will steal your breath and your warmth away. Beware the one who steals the mushrooms. He leaves no bounty behind. Nothing for the forest.
Oh, that's why. I say to myself,
As a gift.
I left bacon, and I think I left a ration too.
Yes, you give to the forest. You're a friend to the forest. You provide. The forest is balanced. You give and we give. You take and we take. You have not taken, you have given. Other one is taken, and so must be taken from.
Can I give for him?
No, must be given by. Friend, forest friend, you give, and we give. You have companion. Other one takes. He gave magic but took bounty away. Left nothing for the forest.
Oh, you're not talking about him, and I point to Lachlan.
Yes, that one. Mushroom thief.
Oh, you are talking about him.
Yes.
As he is my companion, can I ask a favor of you that you give him the benefit of the doubt that he didn't know, and before we leave the forest in the morning, I will see if he has something to leave in this spot for the taking of the mushrooms?
They kind of quietly talk amongst themselves, and you're only able to catch snippets of the conversation. And then the one on your head, you hear it, and it... What is benefit of doubt?
Oh. Can you trust that his transgression was caused by ignorance and not malice?
They kind of consult amongst each other again, and just kind of... What will you offer for this doubt?
So, I have some more rations that I could leave. I have a little bit of fresh water in my water skin you could have. But I'm suggesting that if you leave him unbothered until the morning, that I would talk with him when he woke up to leave something of his own in exchange for the mushrooms that he took. Would that make things square? And then if he doesn't have anything, then I can leave something of my own. But I think it would be better if he left something since he took the mushrooms.
If Mushroom Thief leaves something of equal value and more, debt will be forgotten. Forest Friend cannot leave for Mushroom Thief. Only
And if
Mushroom Thief can wash away the crime.
And if he doesn't pay the debt, what will happen?
The forest gives and provides, and the forest takes. Mushroom Thief has taken from the forest, and so the forest will take back.
Vague threat is vague. I think I understand. I will make sure that he leaves something in return. I think we, in his defense, I think we as a group misunderstood the rules, but we will make it right.
The sprites just kind of quietly speak to each other again. And then the one on your head, it just, you kind of feel a little paw tap your head through your hood, and it just kind of, Forest Friend is safe. Forest Friend is good. Sprites trust Forest Friend.
If you trust me, trust that between the two of us, we will make this right and give you fair compensation for your mushrooms.
Roll me a persuasion.
I'm not really good at these. That wasn't too.
They just kind of quietly make little, they're not speaking, they're just kind of making noises at this point of agreement. And then all of the ones that had been on your lap, as soon as you blink, are now gone.
Are there any left?
There is one on your head.
While we still have the time left that I can talk to you, ever since that I gained the ability to interact with beings of your kind, I've been on a search of how to call to you when I need you. I've got some books, but I left them above ground before we came down here, and I haven't had a chance to read them. Would you happen to know a way to call on sprites and other fae to help me when needed?
The little creature, when you blink again, it's no longer on your head and is sitting in your lap, staring up at you with these pure black eyes. And it just, it's giving you a look, and you kind of can tell it's trying, like, searching your face and kind of very intently looking at you. Before it goes, I can teach to summon forest sprites. Cannot teach for other fae. Am Forest Friend's companion. Can summon sprites of underdark trees. And as you're talking to this thing, it lets out this unearthly, monstrous, wailing scream that Lachlan does not react to. And there are suddenly about 24 forest sprites looking up at you expectantly.
I'm sorry, was that the lesson?
It just kind of looks around and looks at you and just, in the facsimile of, again, only its eyes moving, nods.
I will try to mimic the sound that he made. That it made.
Give me a performance.
Oh Lord. You guys know I have a 10 charisma, right?
Good luck.
Rip.
So, Kyrius, you let out a scream that kind of sounds like you're being murdered with a cat in a bucket.
Neither I.
And Lachlan, you hear the
Lachlan is
sound?
going to sit bolt upright and have a wand in one hand and a sprig of mistletoe in the other.
You see Kyrius, where you had left him, surrounded by forest
Oh, no.
sprites.
And I'm screaming.
You okay, man?
I as soon as Lachlan sits up, I immediately throw a hand out and then stop screaming. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm all right.
Bad dreams?
Nope. Haven't been sleeping. Been on watch. But
Bitten by a bug?
yeah, we'll say that.
Okay. How long have I been asleep?
About an hour.
Less than an hour. Well, if I'm still talking to them, it's got to be slightly less than an hour. But
Well, you're only talking to the one so far. You haven't tried to talk to the others.
oh,
How are your friends?
they seem good. They're fine. They're trying to teach me how to call to them when I need them, but apparently, I expected it to be more of something. What I had read before we left the airship was that it was more of an arcane nature to do so. But I hadn't gotten it down yet, and I was hoping they could teach me, but it seems to be more of a vocalization that I may not be able to do very well yet.
Well, there are many ways to achieve similar effects with magic. I have both arcane, divine, and primal, from my understanding of the way of the wilds that you follow. You would most likely have more of a connection with a natural kind of magic similar to primal. They may be trying to teach you something like that.
Perhaps.
The forest sprites are still staring up at Kyrius, essentially waiting for battle orders.
Anything else happen whilst I was asleep?
No, we still have a few hours if you want to go back to sleep to keep getting some rest. I think I'll just continue keeping watch with the sprites here until the sun comes up. We will need to talk though before we leave the forest. So
What about?
nothing that I think we can't handle, but I'd rather you get your sleep and we'll talk about it in the morning.
Okay. Do you want me to renew you? And I point at my tongue.
Sure, if you can.
And there's another hour.
Good night, friend.
No.
So in the sense of expediency, because I know other people want to RP and I don't want to just take up everything, I think I would just spend the rest of the night just kind of learning what I can from the sprites, if there's a way to summarize this, and of the forest and the area. I know they've already told me what they can about the town and everything, so just any general knowledge I can gain, and just kind of having chit chat and being as friendly as I can. And when the spell wears off, if they want to just hang out, I'm welcome to that. And
Okay, so yes, after the first hour, you notice that you're still able to communicate with the one that has called itself your companion, and after a little bit of back and forth, it starts to understand more what you want it to teach you, and it kind of helps you figure out more of what you're going for.
awesome. So once the sun comes up, I would Do they leave when the sun comes up, or do they hang around?
The
What sun?
Yeah, there's no sun.
Oh, well, that's true. We're down. We're underground.
Way underground.
So I guess when the equivalent of a night's sleep was done, or estimating thereof, I would wake Lachlan up.
Okay. Yes, the creatures eventually disperse, except for the one that is attached to you, and it just kind of hangs out. It's either on your shoulder, on your head. Occasionally, it'll sit on the top of your boot, or it'll just kind of be poking out of a random pocket, and it seems to just change position every time you blink.
I think I have a new friend.
Did we gain the benefits of a long rest?
So you guys originally had said you were going to be spending 8 hours. Are you still trying to spend 8 consecutive hours just resting to do this, or did you want to go check your pamphlet?
I would assume we were trying to be as rested as possible, but I don't want to speak for Lachlan.
We needed to do a long rest so that I could update my spells, because I didn't have dispel magic available to me.
Right, but wasn't there a timeline that you guys had set on your thingy?
Yes, which we aligned with the amount of time that we would have to walk there and back. So we planned on a long rest. And our pamphlet, the time should be right around when we get back from town. Get back to town.
Let's see. I will give this to you because it makes sense narratively. But because you did have distractions, normally I wouldn't, but I'm going to give this to you for the narrative purposes.
Okay.
You are a merciful God. Doctor, before we go, I say as I'm packing up my bedroll and everything, what I wanted to speak to you about was, I guess we misunderstood the rules, and me leaving stuff for them was my offering. And so, even though I didn't take anything, you did, and so I thought that I could leave stuff for them, and it would cover for the mushrooms. But apparently, each person has to leave for what they take. So
of course.
they are a little concerned that you have taken and not given, and would like fair compensation. There was a vague threat of the forest taking something back, and I would like to avoid that if possible.
Oh, that's no problem. I pull out a light green crystal and one of my final 2 vials of sky water, as well as let's say 3 rations. I would kind of go up to a tree, and I would make a little offering shrine like you see in Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
And I would deposit them. I would say, I gift the forest this crystal imbued with the magics of nature. These rations, once taken from nature's energy, now returns to it, and the water of visions.
I would, Carius would look at the sprite that's kind of attached to him now, and will this do?
And you hear it speaking to you, Kyrius, plain as day. This is a good offer. Mushroom thief. Even.
Also, we'll have to talk some point. I can understand him all the time now, but for now, you're good to go.
Yeah, excellent. We had best hurry back. I think. Did we ever work out if I had a pocket watch or not?
I don't think think so. I think it's one of those things that's been on the list, and I don't think you've ever successfully gotten the pocket watch, because I think we both keep forgetting to have you get a pocket watch.
I pull on the chain to my waistcoat and go, oh, right, I don't have one. I'm going
Quick
to...
question before we move too far on, Lachlan. What did you do with the water? Did you just leave the vial, or did you pour it out?
I feel like pouring it out could be bad for nature. If they want to take that water upon themselves, then it's not a hard stopper to undo. But it's not my place to thrust such a specific kind of intrigue upon the nature spirits.
Okay, so stoppered bottle.
Stoppered bottle.
Okay. And as you had been leaving your offerings, if you had blinked at any point, the offerings are gone.
Excellent.
Right. And then the two of you are heading back to the town?
Mm-hmm. To our rally.
All right. You get into the town, and it's very quiet. There doesn't seem to be any grumblings, any discourse, anything going on. There doesn't seem to be anything going on. There doesn't seem to be anybody gathered in the town square. There doesn't seem to be anybody milling around. It just seems like it's a quiet evening.
I turn to Kyrios and I say, perhaps this spell of descent wears off with time. In which case, this was a distraction.
If you're right, we should let Scratch know. He's going to get annoyed with all the messages, but there's no other way to keep him informed.
It's been 6 hours since he's heard my voice. I'm sure he misses me. But before I do that, I'm going to tap myself on the head and cast Tongues and go up to the friendliest looking person and say, my good, in what sounds to them as a perfect recreation of their language, my good citizen of the Zytharian reign, how do you feel about our grand leader?
As you say that, the person you're talking to, their face twists in disgust and they spit at you.
So not a fan either?
Why would I be a fan of that coward? Cavorting with surface dwellers.
Excellent. Dispel magic with a radius of 120 feet. And if I need to cast this 7 times to cover the entire town, I will.
Okay. So you cast that. It rushes out of you, and this person collapses.
Does everyone within 120 feet of me affected by the charm, which is the effect I'm attempting to end, collapse as well?
Let's see. There's 10 people out and about right now in the area you guys are in that you can see. They all collapse.
Not a distraction.
Not the effect you were expecting, I guess.
These are zombies, aren't they?
Are you asking me or are you asking Kyrios?
I'm asking my medical knowledge.
I'm going to cast Detect Magic.
Okay. And also, Lachlan, give me a medicine check. Kyrios, this whole area is lit up with necromantic magic. Lachlan.
Mm-hmm.
You can't find a pulse on this person.
Yeah, that's to be expected. Everyone in this area is undead.
Call Scratch. Call Scratch now.
So you let's see. So the dispel magic. What was the creature, object, or magical effect you were going for specifically?
The charm effect that we believe is causing the descent.
Yes. So, as far as you can tell, the charm is gone, and this person is dead. They are either dead or unconscious. You're not sure. They don't have a pulse, they're not breathing, they're just kind of on the ground.
They've been dead too long for Revivify to work. I'm just going to tap the 10 people around me and cast Spare the Dying on all of them, just in case.
Okay. Even though the spell has no effect on undead or constructs?
These are weird undead, and I don't know how to medicine them, so this is what I'm doing.
Fair enough. What are both of your passives?
My passive is 15.
My passive is 19.
Okay, Kyrius, you hear it first. You hear the sound of armored boots coming at you. Lachlan, you hear it a minute later as you're checking this person.
Let me know when they're within 120 feet.
I just had it would be out of character for Kyrius to say it, but I just had the scene from The Incredibles of first. Great, now we look like the bad guys.
That's kind of what I'm going for. Although there's a couple players in my chat that may find this scene familiar. So yes, they show up, and it's guards, and it's people, and it's they are angrily shouting. Lachlan, you can hear them screaming that that you're killers, murderers, monsters.
I'm going to go, yes, in the name of his Lord Zypher, and run at them, and when I have as many of them in radius as possible, I'm going to dispel magic on the charm effect.
Huh? Okay.
And somewhere there's a disembodied voice saying, "Don't piss off the village."
Yeah. Scratch, you have a sinking feeling something is going horribly, horribly wrong. You can't quite figure out why, though.
There's a certain amount of logic here.
Are they? So it's too late now. I'm not gonna. We've already gone on, but are they like? Are these like the guards of this specific town, or are these like guards like we would expect to see in Zypher's palace?
As far as you can tell, they're just town guards. They have all now collapsed.
Oh, okay.
And so has the angry mob.
Okay, so they collapsed too then. So I guess we're okay for now.
For a town of this size, how many residents do I think there should be?
That's gonna need a knowledge. That's gonna need intelligence. Give me an int check.
Sure thing.
When it comes to towns like this, you would guesstimate that there should be at least probably 400 to 500 people.
And there's about 50 here.
Yeah, you've got about 60 people here. And more people are coming out in waves, being drawn to the mass flares of magic and people running around screaming about serial killers on the loose.
Technically, this would make me a mass murderer, not a serial killer.
Oh, that's so much better.
I say to Kyrius, I'm relatively certain that I am certain that I am targeting the correct effect, and if it is a neurological condition affecting their brains, then it would make sense that they are unconscious from this. Worst case scenario, we can just talk to the Grand Lord Zypher, and he can resurrect all these people anyway.
I'm more concerned with. It sounds like a lot of people are. Sounds like we're going to meet a lot of people very, very quickly. And so I don't want to get overwhelmed. Should we make a tactical retreat and regroup before we go about this?
Perhaps we can find a choke point, but I'd prefer to be in the middle of the mob.
You want to be in the middle of the mob.
I can only cast so many times. And if I'm going to end the effect on the entire town, then I need as many people near me as possible.
Everything in me screams this is dangerous beyond what we planned, but I will stay with you.
Perhaps you should be somewhere higher up. Or able to... I don't know, I'm kind of making this up as I go.
I would have never known. Can I see anywhere that might, like, that I could get to? So I'm looking for two things. Somewhere that I can get to quickly and would give me a good vantage point of the area around us.
There's a couple. You guys are kind of towards the edge of the town, heading inwards. There's a couple areas that have some taller roofs, but if you're looking for like a spire or anything, there's not anything specific. But there are a couple taller roofs that would give you a better view. You can see this building a little ways in the distance.
I've quick cast detect magic. Is there still necromantic magic on the bodies of the fallen?
There is so much necromancy in the area, you can't tell what's body and what's not.
Where do you want to set up? I'm sure we only have a few moments.
I yell. Worst case scenario. Be ready to be ready to Misty step to my side. I'm going to I'm gonna do something dumb and reckless. I'm going to run a little ways away from Kyrius and say, I'm just a weak little human, and attempt to goad the mob towards me.
Okay.
I would need to set up somewhere within 30 feet of him then to be able to Misty step into it.
Okay. There's a couple buildings that have, like I said, decently high roofs. Nothing as tall as what looks like a grand structure. Towards the middle, it's like a tall, almost like an apartment building, like a multi-story house.
Okay, I'm gonna try to shimmy or climb up to the top as quickly as I can, and take a spot to have a look out over everything.
Give me and you're trying to be fast.
Yep, because I feel like we are under pressure here, so yes.
Okay, give me an athletics. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you find some pretty easy handholds. You fly up this building. Your little companion there is just kind of you hear very quietly, it kind of goes woohoo. With just because you have just soared up this. You almost feel like you are magically being pushed up this building. You are climbing so fast. And yeah, you see people are going like door to door, rallying other people about the mass murderer in the middle of town. And you see several people are actually running out of the village as well. There are groups that appear to be women and children are fleeing out and down one of the roads, while more of the able-bodied people are gathering torches, pitchforks, and swords.
Wait, they're fleeing? Like the regular townsfolk are fleeing?
Yeah, there's a lot of the townsfolk. Again, it's mostly the women and children are fleeing down this way to get away from the mass murderer. And you see there's a few guards with them, and then most of the remaining people are coming towards Lachlan.
Okay, this is gonna be fun. So in the remaining mob, I know you say there's a lot of necromantic magic around.
Mhm.
I should be able to detect if there's any enchantment magic.
And yes, there is.
Okay, cool. I'm targeting the enchantment.
Okay.
I'm going to charge the mob once it gets to a sufficient size, and I'm going to let off a higher level dispel because I'm out of third level spell slots. So as I charge this mob, I'm going to touch my chest and say, "Pan, give me protection." As I cast shield on myself to try and push my way through without getting hit.
Mm-hmm. And then you're gonna upcast a spell magic?
Uh-huh.
Okay, go ahead and link those two spells, please.
Shield and dispel magic.
Okay. Yes. So you get into the middle of this mob, you cast out this spell, and these people all collapse.
I yell up, "Curious, where's my next target?"
Can I see where more people are coming from?
There does not appear to be anyone else coming. It appears that everyone else has fled the town.
It looks like everybody else ran away.
Along the road?
You think
Yeah.
so? You think so, Kyrius, but you lost sight of them pretty quickly.
Last I saw, they were on the road. Yes.
With that information, I am going to pull out a small effigy of an eagle, and I'm going to cast polymorph on myself to turn myself into a giant eagle, and fly, and with kind of hesitate as I allow Kyrius to grab on, and I go off in this direction.
Okay.
I'm gonna yell up to him as we fly off. I mean, something about this doesn't feel right to me.
Squawk.
And can you link polymorph as well, please?
Yes, indeed.
All right. So yeah, you guys are able to take off. What kind of eagle are you?
Giant eagle. There should be a stat block for it.
Right. Have you seen a giant eagle?
I would have, I'm sure. We've been flying through the skies for ages.
Okay, you have in fact seen one giant eagle, and it was a nesting mother. So, yeah. So you have seen a giant eagle.
Excellent.
And so yeah, you're flying, and you see people desperately running as fast as they can away from the town. Kyrius, you can hear them, and they're very clearly distressed.
Lachlan, something is wrong with this.
I kind of twist my head down to you.
It just feels like these people were just living their lives, even if they were undead. I don't know, it just feels weird.
thoughtful squawk. Are we able to catch up with the group and actually get ahead of them?
I can't speak with animals.
Okay. Now talk to Lachlan.
Maybe able to persuade beast. Is the animal able to speak back with that spell?
So you're flying at less than your maximum speed because you have additional weight. You guys are flying behind them, and you seem to be gaining, but not very quickly.
I'm going to, and you'll probably hear this in your mind, Kyrios. The necromantic abilities weren't dispelled, and if for some reason enchantment was keeping them alive, it's not any sort of magic I've seen. They still had the charm where they despised Zypher. It's possible that there was a additional stipulation on that spell that if it ended, it would cause this problem.
I just feel like we don't have enough information, and I'd rather not be party to mass murder. In for a penny, in for a pound, I suppose, though.
They're already undead. There's no reason they can't be re-undeadified.
So,
I suppose.
well, while you guys are figuring that out, let's switch over to Scratch and Augie. So, we will pick up with you guys after you had gotten the, what was it, second message from Lachlan, warning him not to, after don't drink the water. We will pick back up with you guys.
I'm starting to feel like that was the wrong message to give. There's just something in the back of my mind just tickling me so.
It was sound advice.
I mean, I thought so too. You really should never drink water you don't know the source of. You could get the tummy rumbles. Back home, we used to call them the bubble guts.
Very interesting.
I thought so. It's like a chemical reaction in your little tummy sack.
So as you guys are having this conversation, after Augie, was it you that had cast? No, it was Scratch that had cast Dispel Magic. That's correct. Because you had used. That's right. You'd used the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Augie, the group that you guys had been tending to also had collapsed, and you guys had been kind of getting people up, checking on people, and it took a few minutes, but slowly people were regaining consciousness, and they were kind of standing up, and just kind of like several people were holding their heads and helping each other up, and everybody just seems a little drained, after a bad, almost like a hangover, but without the drunkenness or the smell.
So the charge will not be mass murder, but instead fleeing the scene of the crime.
I think it was, it was good to prepare the people for what we did, and now we can provide aftercare. I think that is a solid plan. I really think that the other teams are definitely going to figure that out.
They're already dead.
Yes, yeah. So?
What kind of aftercare do they need?
Just because they died doesn't mean that they're any bit less people. Obviously, look, they have a whole fucking civilization back here.
And aftercare is always important.
It is very important to take care of your people.
Fine. What are we doing?
Well, I think it's best if we provide them a little bit of knowledge as to what happened to them. And then we just, make sure everyone does wake up and We can ask questions. I'm sure that they'll remember something. I mean, we have suspicion, right? We know kind of what this was, but what is it distracting from? Like, what was the point?
Just to sow general chaos.
I don't think Alien at this point is down to sow just general chaos. I think there's a reason. Is it like deterring us from getting back upstairs? They obviously know we're here.
I mean, that's possible, but just seems like a lot of work to. I mean, we got stuff going over there with Lachlan and Kyrius and things going on over here, and we think it's all the same person. It has to be
Mr.
something
Scratch.
deeper.
I know that you are an intelligent being, and I'm just asking you to put your brain cells together because I don't think this is just some act of pure tomfoolery.
All right, so
I
How
don't
do we-
think Alien would do something without a reason.
true. So if they're trying to keep us from up there, how do we get up there without triggering whatever they've probably planned ahead for?
It's hard when you're dealing with people of that caliber of magic. It's not like we're dealing with great knights who are only skilled in combat and we can disguise ourselves and wander around not being caught. I mean, these people I'm sure could see through anything related to magic.
Scratch
Unless-
begins to dig through his bags.
What
Ah.
if there's a mole?
Inside the court?
Yeah.
I mean, we
Somebody-
haven't seen that many people in that place.
No, but how really would they have known that we'd be down here at this particular time? Why would they come down here at this particular moment to do something to Zypher's people, if not because we're here?
I mean, we are dragging around Tanzanite.
I mean, are they tracking us? They scrying on us?
We haven't really been very careful about checking on that, have we?
Absolutely not. We're not really known for our tact, if you will. We have a lot of strengths between us, but what we don't have is a way to protect ourselves from that kind of magic, divination magic. If we could find something, some kind of spell, some kind of artifact, some kind of, I don't know, fucking bracelet that acts like an anti-mosquito net, but for divination magic.
I've been working on a little pocket dimension spell, but not strong enough to make it work the way I want it to yet.
I mean, there are spells at a higher level that my mama would have told me about. God, what was it called? Some kind of sanctum that you could just magic out of thin air, and when you're in there, no one could cast that kind of magic on you. But it only works when you're there. It's not like we could spend all our time in there. We still have to do things. So we need to. I think we need to pull some funds and really either commission or find some kind of this high. We need to, when we get out of here, make it a point to go to a very magical place.
Yeah, need to get back to the ship.
Fuck yeah. I mean, who knows? Anything could be infiltrated. If they're not sending spies or scrying, I mean, how else would they know what we're up to and what we're doing?
I guess we'll have to dip into the funds.
I mean, that or we could ask for a loan from our very rich friends.
True, that would be fair. preferable. But that's current problem first.
Well, I think that our current problem, besides the literal immediate thing with the people, and is to do what we can and then get back to the castle, report it to Zephyr, and he can fix the rest of it. We really shouldn't have to expand all of our magical resources to aid his villagers. As keen as I am to fix a problem, this seems an easy one to fix. That doesn't require our specialties.
Can't we just call on that annoying little guy and have him tell Zephyr himself?
I mean, we can try, but I think he was hanging out with other people in our group.
Oh, little guy, where are you?
Right.
Little guy.
Mini Zephyr?
Ah.
Is this like a clapping situation? Clap on, clap off.
Augie, as you call out Mini Zephyr, he appears above Scratch's head.
Oh, thank God you're here. Hi. We have news, and so look, these people in this village now are good. We went around and salted them, but somebody who looked mighty close to someone by the name of Opal was down here doing the sowing of discourse. And in order to fix the discourse, you have to dispel the magic and then see that the people are fine after that. I figure between your Lord Zephyr and his skeletal friend, that all will be seen to.
Wait, hold on. Dispelling magic. Which magic did you dispel exactly?
A charm. They were
charm.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, not their life force. We're not dumb enough to just genuinely dispel magic around these people.
Just making sure. You aren't the first adventurers I've dealt with, so I have to make sure.
And he went topside.
Yeah, and then he left. So, in order to kind of stay the course and be able to keep his trail, I would like to collect our people and kind of skedaddle. We just wanted to make sure that y'all were given the solution to the problem.
Huh. Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I had received a message from Rain earlier with a very similar premise. Her and the blue one, Yurei, were going to collect most of the people from the town, actually, into my jail cells, specifically to dispel the magic. It shouldn't be that difficult to collect your other friends into the same area and do the same thing.
Did he just suggest that we all go to jail?
Confused why we're fixing this problem again. No disrespect, and love Rain for her enthusiasm, but we really do need to scoot in order to not lose, like I said, that trail that we're on.
Yeah, we gotta save the world and all that, and rescue the friend.
I figure since this is something as simple as dispelling a charm, that Lord Zephyr could just snap his fingers and it'd all be good and back to normal.
Absolutely. Also, you did have a collection of packages that were delivered to my castle.
Right. Oh my goodness.
How are we gonna get those topside?
They did offer a cart. I paid for a cart to go with it.
I remember the cart. Okay.
We have a cart. There's an outfit in there that I cannot public.
I can have everything shipped to the surface if you need.
The trees, they speak to me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting a tune in on another frequency. Suddenly, you hear Kyrios' voice, seemingly from nowhere. I bought a cart.
Oh, what a solution! Oh no!
But then it fades away, and Mini Zypher just kind of like, oh, terribly sorry about that. I have the strangest fits once in a while.
Well,
You sounded just like Kyrios. Do you do impressions? Can you do me?
No.
Oh.
Scratch starts to close up his bag that he was looking through.
Well, sounds like you got everything covered here. That means we can go back and get everyone together and finally get on with this. With no more interruptions.
Can you send a message out on the ring?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Everybody meet back up at the castle. We got most of the information I'm sure that we need. And I'm sure that everybody can get their licky split.
7-word message can be sent.
As you guys are discussing the message, Augie, as you're looking at Mini Zypher, you see him go from the normal, calm, stoic expression to deeply confused and then ragingly furious at the same time, like almost immediately afterwards, before he swears. And Scratch, you pick up on he was insulting someone's mother, but he was muttering it too quickly for you to catch before disappearing.
What? I didn't to offend you. I just think that we have a better use of our time.
Scratch sends message.
Yude, do you have one of the rings of communication?
I don't think he does.
Very good.
Halstrom does.
Halstrom's already at the castle. Now,
Shit.
Halstrom's already at the castle, and the other person that would be getting the message is currently a bird.
I still understand the message.
He can't access the ring.
True.
You have to be able to physically receive the message.
Yeah, it's like
I
an
don't-
old-fashioned answering machine. When there's a
well-
message, it kind of blinks, and you have to touch
Yep.
it.
I mean, the timelines here are a little weird because we sent that the message that started the like hour-long thing off 5 hours ago.
True.
In which case, you were asleep when the message came through and still missed it.
Yep, it was blinking while you
Yep.
were asleep. Perfect.
There
What's
we
the
go.
button?
We really need to make them beep as well, not just flash.
There we go. You were just distracted. You weren't paying attention to your hand. You had no reason to think that the message would be coming over the ring. It's there waiting for you. It's on your answering machine.
Split the party, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
I'd rather be sailing.
I don't know who said split the party, and I don't know who said it would be fun.
I mean, the solution was the discussion was had, and nobody argued.
Discussion was had about
That is not true. Kyrie, well, not argued, but Kyrios absolutely said he wanted to go back to the ship. He has said that every day since they've been underground.
He
Yeah.
has.
Yes, but he didn't argue to splitting the party.
That's because he trusts Scratch's decisions, but I just heard it.
Scratch is regretting this decision. Okay, message sent. It should be going back pretty quick. I made it sound important.
All right. I look at the horses and I'm like, I love that we've had such a beautiful leisurely day together, but can you get back to the castle post haste?
Your steed doggy just kind of like immediately like starts walking, stops, looks back at you.
Can I be on you first?
And Scratch the pony. Oh, you must forgive him. He's excitable, as you know.
I bet we could race and totally.
Yes, a valiant race, the wind in our manes, the ground under our hooves. Onwards! And the pony takes off.
Wait, we need to be Mr. Scratch.
He circles back and comes back.
Thank you.
I mean, if I really wanted to, I could beat the horse.
I just pluck Mr. Scratch and put him on the pony, and then I get on the horse.
Shall we make it a friendly wager? Who can arrive at the castle first?
Without the use of additional magic, Mr. Scratch.
I don't know why we're making different rules.
That's not a different rule. This is a race, strictly based on the prowess of our steeds.
Scratch hugs the neck of the
Naturally.
pony and dimension doors 30 feet ahead.
That is cheating!
You hear ahead of you. Onward! We shall win glory this day!
All right, go, 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 go!
You guys take off as fast as you can. Scratch, I assume, occasionally dimension dooring when it seems like you're losing.
When I
God,
can see far enough ahead, yes.
Ridiculously cheap!
As long as the pony is willing.
Oh, the pony is absolutely willing. He is very much like, yes, onwards. I see a point ahead. Yes, there. We shall ride ahead. We shall win this victory this day.
Augie is like hoping to Pelor that they can reach out to the pony's sense of valiancy and go, there's no honor in cheating!
There is honor in victory!
Victory!
I hope that pony flings you into a pile of shit.
Tally-ho, Captain! Tally-ho!
Hi-ho, whatever your name is, away!
Yes, you two
Augie
are...
casts command on the pony to stop. Let's see. Because if they can do it, if Scratch can cheat, then Augie's fine.
All right, what's your spell save against it?
15.
Oh,
Good
he
hell.
wins.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh yeah? Well, when I see that occur, Scratch will cast haste on the pony.
You see his little legs going
Counter
even
spell.
Counter spell.
Excellent.
I cast command again. I can do this all day.
Excellent. Are you commanding the pony to stop again?
Yes. I'm commanding the pony to, I'm going to say, trot. So, like, I need Scratch to get back there, but just not as fast as me.
Oh, yep, he fails.
Look,
Scratch, you hear Augie call this out, and as fast as your steed was running, as far ahead as you were, you have slowed to a casual trot.
Scratch turns
Click,
back
clop,
at
click,
Augie.
clop, click, clop, click, clop.
Augie is quickly gaining on you.
Reduce! On
Yeah.
the horse.
Counter spell.
No, we definitely won't need any of these spell slots.
Well, you know, at leisure, we could take a long rest. There's no way. Look, I'm confused. There's no way that we would have spent the 8 hours that, or 6 hours that. How does the timeline match up?
So you guys have been traveling most of the day since you had a much further distance to go than Lachlan and Kyrius did. So while that's 6 hours, you guys have been having most of the race. By the time that you guys arrive back to the castle, Lachlan and Kyrius will be eagle stalking the villagers.
Alternatively, for some reason, the forest is moving really fast.
How would the forest be moving?
Because if you approach the speed of light, everyone else moves slower in comparison to you. Or is it the other way around?
I mean, if you're approaching the speed of light, everything appears to be going slower than you. But I'm not sure why the forest would be going slower. They're not. I don't know. But no, for sake and simplicity and timeline, you guys have been traveling while shenanigans have been going on.
Right.
And so by the time you guys are back to the castle and meeting up with Yude and Rain, the Eagle will hopefully have landed.
I won for sure, right? For sure.
You know, actually, both of you roll a D100.
I got
Higher
one more
number
trick
win.
up my sleeve.
Uh-oh.
Yes,
All right, well,
haste
you're-
on the
you're-
horse.
After cast it on Augie's horse?
Uh-huh.
So I can be tired.
Uh-huh.
Counterspell.
You know, there's a little trick that I can use. I don't know how many counter spells you got, but I got 8 more in large reduces.
That's disgusting.
I can enchant an item to hold a level 1 or level 2 spell, and I get to use it as many as twice my intelligence modifier.
Molly, why do you allow these things?
No, that's an actual artificer thing.
Yeah, that's not me. That's Artificer.
You allowed an artificer into this group.
You allow
Two.
an artificer.
Technically, I allowed 2, one of which we will be dropping off at the ship. The other one I'm unleashing onto the world. You know, there's a great group on a different planet that really needs a captain, and I think they could very much benefit from a kobold.
I think that they would kill that kobold.
I definitely agree, but I think it would be very entertaining to watch him get out of the shenanigans.
Don't
If
make
this
me
little dragon
smoke
spawn
bomb
touches
you,
me.
Mr. Scratch.
I reduce Augie.
So now I'm your size?
Yeah.
I think it's isn't it 1/4 the size, or is it half?
I think it's one. Well, let's double check. We've got plenty to reference. You reduce its size by 1 category.
Oh, so yeah, now you're small.
No,
Good
I'm
luck.
medium.
Oh, good luck reaching the stirrups then.
Oh no, I mean technically I think I'm only large for carrying capacity. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm small. So I'm your size.
On a full size horse,
It's fine. My thighs can clench.
and
I
then
work out.
and then I'll.
I just really want to hear Augie's southern accent in higher register.
Hold on. Give me a second.
Is it southern or?
Yeah, it's southern. It's a draw.
Country.
It's
It's
southern
not like-
country.
Yeah, it's not like a Southern Belle. It's
No,
more
it's-
like down in the holler.
Yeah, it's more Alabama adjacent. I have a friend who lives in Alabama and very similar accent. Got this, Augie. I got faith in you.
Mr. Scratch! Fuck you, Mr. Scratch!
Okay, we can roll those dice now if you want.
Yeah. You guys are going to arrive to the castle. You guys are going to come Tokyo drift, skidding to a stop in front of the stables. And roll me some D100s. We'll see who wins. We'll leave it to the dice. Scratch wins by a point.
Another minute and I would have created food in front of your horse. A bushel of apples. I drop concentration on reduce.
I go up and I thump you on the head. Oh, womp. What part of a good, clean race did you not understand?
That was a good clean race.
It was not. I said no additional magic on the merits of the steed. You fucking cheater. You have no honor as
You
a captain.
participated.
Yeah, after you broke the floodgate.
What's that say about your honor?
That I am a stickler to keeping up with the masses. Now get your ass in that castle.
The stable hand comes to collect your steeds and is very thoroughly confused, but just doesn't say anything. It's one of those is curious, but is also too afraid to ask.
Oh yeah, they've got like the lather on them from running so hard.
Oh yeah, these horses are sweating and puffing and huffing and twitching and all that. These are horses.
I give them both an apple from my pack.
The pony is just excitedly chattering away, and the stable hand is just leading the pony in with a very shell-shocked expression, as if he had never heard this pony speak before.
I look at Mr. Scratch and I said, "Do you think that they don't know that they talk?"
I didn't know they talked.
Well, you just met them. He tends to them.
They don't like him.
Aw. Well, all right, let's go. I'm sure we might be the last people there at this point. That took a while.
Yeah, they should all be here as urgent as I made that message.
Absolutely.
I told them people were dying.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, I'm hoping it registered, but with our group...
Yurei and Rain, we're going to pop over to you guys real quick. With your leading the townsfolk into Zypher's castle, into the weakness, into the secret back entrance of the jails. And the people are following you, and you hear them talking and murmuring about how, you know, this tiefling woman, she's a much better person to have on the throne than Zypher. She cares about people. She understands. She listens. And
oh no, I was disguised.
oh,
remember?
that's right. That's right. You were correct. You were disguised. So they're talking about how this new elvish woman, she should be on the throne. She cares about people. She understands. You know, Zypher's been ruling too long, and her scary companion, probably much nicer than he looks, but he could be a good advisor. You know, these people should be on the throne, not Zypher.
I take it they're speaking in Undercommon?
Yep.
100% listening in.
Yep. I mean, they're not being quiet about it. And so as you guys lead them into the cells, Rain, you'd contacted Zypher, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. You see a person who you think is Zypher, but looks like if Zypher wasn't a drow, and it's mildly disconcerting, he kind of looks like a wood elf. And it's weird. He doesn't have the corruption on his eye. He's got the same facial features that he had, but his hair is now dark woody brown, and his skin is more golden instead of the dark gray. And you notice that he is in shackles and is being escorted down by guards. But he looks up at you, Rain, and he winks as the guards kind of shove him into one of the cells, talking about surface trader coming to sow dissent, sow madness, and the thief, the culprit has been caught.
I would subtly nudge Yurei to make sure that he notices this shit.
Yeah, I was gonna ask to do an insight check to see what the hell is going on in this situation.
Go for it. You also immediately figured out it's Zypher because your passive is too high to not figure this out. Rain, You think that somebody has arrested a wood elf that you're pretty sure is secretly Zypher. Yurei, you know that this is Zypher being a little shit and just trying to get in and closer to the crowd.
See. Yurei is going to inform Rain that the situation is under control and that we can trust what's going on.
Okay.
So are you guys going to say anything to the crowd that you're leading, or are you just leading them into the cells? Or into the chamber, I guess.
So, did the people hide from the guards?
No, they kind of, since they were behind you guys, they would have slowed and stopped, but they wouldn't be hiding because, you know, they don't like Zypher, but they have nothing against the guards. You see that a few people actually call out to the guards and are greeting them with, in the same ancient undercommon, they're greeting them very affectionately, and the guards just don't really seem phased.
Okay. So I would like puff up my chest and in a like grandstanding kind of voice. And what has this poor soul done to anger the illegitimate so-called king, huh?
One of the guards kind of looks at you and kind of gives you a look before he's quickly elbowed by his companion and oh, why, this bastard in here has been running around and has been causing all sorts of scenes. He's been spreading misinformation and lies about our fair king. And the people behind you start like talking, like they're getting more restless and more rowdy about how Zypher's not the real king, and you know, needs to be taken off the throne. And the wood elf is just kind of fighting against the guards, but not actually fighting.
Putting on a good show.
But not a real good show. The two of you know that he's very much putting on a show.
Well, this is absolute nonsense. I demand that you release him at once, and he will join our cause. We're going against the false king.
And why would we release him to you? If you're going against our esteemed leader, we should be arresting the lot of you.
As far as I can see, we outnumber you, and we have nothing against you. You might as well join us.
On what grounds would we be joining you? You seem to, you claim that our fair and just king is false. What evidence do you have for this? And before you can say anything, Rain, the people start shouting, Yurei, you can understand that they are saying some very not nice things about Zypher. There are some ugly words being thrown around. There's a couple that you didn't even know what that word meant, but now you have better context for it.
Learn something new every day.
And you can see that the guards are getting not frazzled, like they're very much like, again, putting on a show. They start backing up, and the people behind you are starting to push into the chamber more. They're not quite pushing up against you guys, but you can hear them getting louder behind you.
I think the will of the people speaks for itself. If you release him now and don't get in our way, you will not be harmed.
Huh. Listen here, little miss. I don't know what kind of militia, mutiny thing you think you've pulled together here. You can't harm us. We're the Royal Guards. What are you gonna do?
I believe I stated that our intention wasn't to harm you.
So you think we should just let you storm the castle and attack the king? And you hear people shouting behind you, and several people are shouting in a very old Elvish dialect, Rain, and you both can understand them pretty easily. They're screaming about taking down the great tyrant kind of stuff.
Oh, absolutely. If he is the legitimate king, then let him prove it to us. We've seen no evidence. Let him show us.
And as you say that, Rain, Cypher drops his disguise. The people behind you start panicking, and he snaps his fingers, casting Dispel Magic, and the people start to collapse. And the guards.
And my disguise goes away.
And the guards are rushing forward to tend to the people. And he just kind of looks at you two. Well,
I just kind of like brush imaginary dust off my sleeve. How was that? Was that good? Was that a good take? Yeah.
It certainly isn't what I was expecting, but well done.
Hoping this doesn't have lasting ramifications for public dissatisfaction.
I'm pretty sure that all of them were completely out of it. I doubt they'll remember anything.
If it's Elion's magic, they're going to wake up, bad hangover, and be very confused and think it was a bad dream. They'll wonder why they woke up in the cells, and I will explain everything to them, and we'll go from there.
And just in case they do remember, that's why I didn't use my actual face.
Fair enough.
If I may speak out of turn, Lord Zypher,
You may?
I do think that while it is magical brainwashing, there are some merits in some of their gripes. Not with you being a false king.
Speak your next words carefully, Kitsune.
The people need a king who shows that he cares. Someone who out there for the people.
And you're saying that I'm not.
When was the last time you have addressed your public?
Recently, 200 years ago. You kind of notice something click in his head. Oh.
You see, how many generations of the Tathayan court is that exactly?
That's about enough. That's about 2 generations, 100 years to reach adulthood for the average elven individual.
So other kingdoms have changed hands since you talked to your people? Not to be, negative or judgmental, but I can see how this seed of dissent might have been sowed. No offense.
None taken, truly. I suppose that I have been a distant monarch for too long. I suppose if this has done anything today, it's highlighted to me that there may be flaws in my approach to ruling. And I appreciate the two of you highlighting to me some of those flaws.
Well, if potential future allies can't be honest with each other, then where's the world going?
He just kind of smirks a little bit and then just kind of looks at you and kind of between the two of you. I suppose potential allies come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. Do you have a different face under that mask? Or is this just, were you scarred? Were you disfigured? Or is this just a sneaky thing?
Teaching was shown went on a mission to never reveal one's true identity. It's more of a practice.
Oh, I thought it was just to make you look cool.
You've been spending too much time with my brother. I digress.
I appreciate the, I don't want to say irony for the mask shape.
I mean, for someone like me, I knew what you were the minute you walked into my castle. For the average person, you're just a sneaky, scary fox man. Anyways, if you two are finished with your mission, I believe we should head upstairs to wait for your companions. Agime has been talking to Minnie Zypher about what's going on.
Oh, did they make any progress?
Quite a lot, apparently.
Oh, good.
On our walk, I can give you some tips on, as bad as it sounds, what not to do for ruling. I kind of have a lot of experience with destabilizing these kind of stuff.
Hey, don't look at me for that. I have always known it was not in my cards to have anything to do with ruling a kingdom, so.
He just kind of looks at you, Yurei, just kind of cocks an eyebrow. I'm going to pretend you didn't offer to inform me how to destabilize my own government.
No, quite the opposite. I'm telling you what not to do.
You're lucky you're useful. Let's go.
It's how I've lived for this long.
So he leads you two upstairs and leads you back up into the dining room. And about this point, we'll say that took you guys a while. I'm not keeping track of specific hours
time
at this point. Enough time that Augie and Scratch would have been able to come back after Augie had connected with Minnie Zypher and Minnie Zypher had come back to Zypher.
Enough time for me to have demonstrating the very beginnings of my my take on his ice copy spell.
Absolutely. You definitely would have been able to get some critique and some, I shouldn't say critique, you've been able to get some advice from the master. And Hyurei, Zypher has taken your counsel. As much as it's very apparent he really doesn't want to.
His pride kind of makes it hard.
His pride makes it hard, but he recognizes that you guys are right. And as much as he will never speak those words out loud, he very much is willing to hear you out while he's assisting Rain with the simulacrum spell.
You see, I started off with the control flames cantrip, and then I threw in some of my natural disguise ability, and I came up with something kind of like this. What do you think?
It's good. It's interesting. Destable or unstable just because you don't have quite enough power into it. And then he just kind of, you watch and he just kind of conjures a simulacrum made out of fire. Fire is a tricky element, as I'm sure you're very familiar. It's an energy in and of itself. It doesn't like to be contained or controlled. And you kind of notice that the simulacrum, it's flickering along the edges like a candle flame would. Even I haven't quite perfected the fire. It's close. But it's not quite there. The energy, the fire, it wants to expand, it doesn't want to be contained.
That gives me an idea, actually. If I can promise the fire an explosion at the end of it serving me, will that stabilize it more, do you think?
It's an absolute possibility. I've never quite communed with fire before. I usually just have it do my bidding. Most magic, anyway.
Oh, well, there's a conversation to be had in everything.
Fair
It
enough.
took all of my willpower not to end that with Zaddy.
My God. Oh my God, this man is going to need flame resistance, isn't he? I'm pretty sure he has it already, but, you know. If he doesn't, I'll be shocked. I will be shocked.
He probably isn't there a spell that makes it so you can take reduced elemental damage? He probably has that.
Probably. If he doesn't have that...
That's absorb elements.
There we go.
There we go. He has that. He probably has that. I should try to.
On a sheet, no, but as an NPC, probably.
As an NPC, he has every spell that he can conjure. He has been alive for that long.
Hey, when it comes to securing alliances for personal gain, I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, Lord. Rain's going to be trying to start a whole new Kazala family tree.
Nah. But if she
Yes.
thinks that flirting and possible seducing will work, then she's not above it.
If you have tried to flirt with him, he has not been receptive, but he's not outright rejecting. You get the feeling that he doesn't realize you're flirting.
That's fair. But if it amuses him, same effect.
It very much amuses him. It's just he's a bean. This man is a bean. This man is awkward. He's just wrapped up in awkward. He doesn't know how to socialize with people. He doesn't know how to socialize.
Excellent.
He's the ultimate introvert. He introverted himself into immortality. And so as you guys are having this discussion, Yurei, I assume you're going over maps and books and diagrams with Zypher while he's talking to Rain about the spell and about the infrastructure of his kingdom.
The occasional nudge of a possible alliance with the Empire.
This man is going to wind up with so many powerful allies. You guys are going to put him back on the throne, and you're not going to realize it, and I'm here for this.
Oh, Yurei knows. His grandfather's going to be absolutely pissed, but this one of those. This has a potential to be really good for the world.
And as you're having this discussion, Scratch and Augie are escorted in. And a herald announces that Captain Scratch, Flabbercaster, and First Mate Augie May Aster have returned from their mission towards the east to discuss the descent among the villagers. And I think that's where we'll end for tonight. A nice collection of our players back together. Well, 66% of our players back together. And I'll go ahead and lead us out. I also have one extremely important announcement to make. I was going to make it at the beginning and then completely forgot. Today is a very, very important day in the history of the world, as today, 67 years ago, the one and only Okami's mom was born. Today is my mother's birthday, and it needs to be immortalized on the internet forever.
Aww.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Mom.
birthday.
Happy birth, miss.
I did, in fact, speak to her earlier. I told her I would be announcing this, and she says, and I told her, there's probably going to be well wishes. She says, thank you, everyone, and she hopes we have fun, and she's not sure if she hopes we win, because she doesn't know what that means, but she hopes we have fun.
She's adorable.
She doesn't know a whole lot about D&D, but she knows that we enjoy it, and that is what's important to her. I don't think we have any other closing announcements. Check out our YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. Check out our Discord server that we have. Jump in, have some fun. We've got all kinds of awesome channels. Drop memes, make friends, make connections. Hang out, have fun. Bunch of games that we play on YouTube. Make sure that you guys like the videos. Comment your favorite moments. Comment timestamps. We have a lot of YouTube shorts that we're doing. If you guys have your favorite moments in our videos, make sure that you are commenting those timestamps. Or I think YouTube has a clip function. Am I wrong?
I think they do too.
I think they do. You know what? Prove us right or prove us wrong. If YouTube has that clip function, use it. Send your favorite clips into the Discord server so we can get them posted for YouTube Shorts. And for TikTok, check us out on TikTok. We have all kinds of fun shit going on over there. Check us out on Twitter. That's where you're going to see all of the announcements for game nights, for streams, for everything in between. If we do have updates, that's where they will be. And there are 20 sides to every story. Vote for yours. Good night, everybody.